Hello and welcome back to the Wrestling Group. I am your host as always, Ryan, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Motor City Machine Guns. Now, they've been strongly rumoured to be debuting in WWE tonight on Smackdown. So they are one of the greatest tag teams in the history of professional wrestling. One of my favourite teams. I've always loved the Motor City Machine Guns. They've won tag team championships every company they've been in. They've won 3 tag team championships in TNA. They've won the tag team championships in Ring of Honor. They've won the tag team championships in New Japan Strong, and they've won the tag team championships in GCW as well. So they are heavily expected to make their debut tonight. So originally the idea was thought to be that they were going to debut on NXT, and obviously the Lucha Brothers were expected to leave AEW and debut on SmackDown. Now we know that's no longer the case, as Tony Khan has extended Rey Fenix's contract by a further year due to his injuries that he had. So that is the thought behind the Motor City Machine Guns being pushed up to the main roster instead, which, to be honest with you, for me personally, I would put them straight on the main roster anyway. You know, both guys are seasoned veterans. It makes no sense to put them into NXT. And WE is really lacking good tag teams on the main roster. You know, for years we've seen so many guys that aren't actually tag teams thrown together and hold the belts in WE, because they don't tend to put a lot of emphasis on the tag division. You know, a few years back we had a solid tag division in WE. You used to have like the likes of the New Day, the Usos, even the Bar. You know, that is one exception to throwing 2 guys together. You know, they were together for a couple of years and were multiple tag team champions and really worked well as a team, and they worked hard at making that team work well as well. But you know, Motor City Machine Guns, they've been tag teaming now since 2006, so it's a good long while, you know. But they're getting 2 phenomenal talents. You know, they are both really good workers, really good in the ring, great as a team. I prefer them as a team than solo stars, but you know, having said that, they both had really good solo careers. You know, you've got Chris Sabin is the record holder, 10-time TNA X Division champion. Alex Shelley's held that belt once as well, and they've both been world heavyweight champions in TNA as well. So they are getting 2 good pedigree athletes, you know, 2 really good wrestlers. But it's definitely an injection into the main roster tag scene that they are looking for. And obviously we've got a couple of tag teams at the moment, so the division is starting to improve. You know, DIY got back together again earlier this year. You know, they're a really good team, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. And then obviously we've got the War Raiders who've just come back. You know, absolutely phenomenal on the indie scene as War Machine. Had a really good run in NXT under Triple H, but haven't quite done a lot and done what's needed of them really, mainly due to bad booking on the main roster. So, you know, we are starting to look at WE getting some decent tag teams in, and it's what they've needed for a while for me. Like, I love tag team wrestling, especially if it's done right, and I just feel like WE have lacked in the tag division for a long while. You know, when you've had Finn Balor and JD McDonough hold the tag belts for 120 days or whatever it is, and you know, defended them once, twice. You know, it's ridiculous. We want to see some proper good tag team wrestling. Not just that, we don't want to just see tag team wrestling for the sake of tag team wrestling, like throwing Kevin Owens and Randy Orton together in a team because you don't know what to do. You know, we want to see proper tag team wrestling like what AEW does. You know, they've got a fleshed out tag division with some really good tag teams, and I feel like WE could really learn a thing or 2 about that. You know, it's one of them. Companies will either put a lot of emphasis on a tag division or they won't. You know, TNA have got the tag divisions right for years. Like, say, Motor City Machine Guns are coming from TNA. You know, they've had Beer Money Inc. and Team 3D. They've had loads of really good teams over the years. TNA and obviously AEW have had a great tag division from the beginning. New Japan, their tag division isn't as great as what it has been in the past, but you know, I'm just hoping now that under Triple H, you know, under Triple H, NXT had some great teams. You know, we had Sanity, we had DIY, we had War Raiders, American Alpha, you know, the Vaudevillains. We had some really, really good teams. Even the Authors of Pain were dominant in NXT. So, you know, we did sort of have an eye on the NXT division when he ran, obviously, NXT. So it'll be interesting to see if they start putting a bit more of an emphasis on the tag division. The only problem is they're going to bring them in and throw them straight into the tag team title scene. I mean, if they do that, your problem with that is you give them the belts too quick, and then, you know, they'll either take the belts off them quickly again. Like, you know, DIY got back together and a couple of months down the line, they won the Smackdown Tag Team Championships, and then they were taken straight off them. So we don't really want to see that happen again. But like I say, if the thought of Motor City Machine Gun mixing up with DIY is a match I do want to see, as long as it's given enough time. Enough time for them to be able to do what they can do. That'll be a really good tag match. You know, Motor City Machine Guns versus War Machine again. You know, it'd be cool to see them go at it on WETV again, providing they give them the time. See, that's what my main concerns are for Motor City Machine Guns in WE is, will they be given enough time in the tag matches? You know, these are guys that can do 20, 30, 40 minute tag matches. We don't really want to see them to be doing 5-10 minute matches. You know, the longer the match, the better they are. You know, you look at some of the great matches they've had over the years, they're all 20 minutes plus. So that's the kind of work that we want to see from Motor City Machine Guns. So they're expected to debut tonight, WWE Smackdown. So let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts and feelings are of Motor City Machine Guns debuting in WWE and being on Smackdown. Don't forget, as always, give us a like, comment and subscribe to the wrestling group today.